What is going on, guys? Thank you for coming to watch this webinar. Really quick, I just wanted to say thank you. I don't know what's going on in your life, but for some reason, you want to live at a higher potential, another level. You're tired of being plateaued. You want to be unleashed. You want to be untapped, and you want to reach your full potential. This webinar is going to help you with that. If it adds a ton of value and you want more value, I send one email a month. I promise to deliver your inbox, but you need to fill out the form below that just asks for your name and your email. Also, if you're thinking about getting some one-on-one coaching, please reach out to me. I want to help you. Whether it's a one-time call or it's an ongoing call, I want to see leaders reach their full potential. You can reach me at Justus, that's Justus, at I'mUnderTheInfluence.com. And with that being said, enjoy the webinar.
For joining the Untapped webinar. Man, this is all about living out your full potential. I couldn't be more excited for this, and I hope that you are as well. I want you guys to know that I've been working hard on this because I've been working and coaching so many leaders who come to me, and I would say their biggest issue is I feel like there's something greater inside of me that needs to come out. I feel like there's something that I was made to do, and I feel untapped. And so my goal today, my goal for you guys is just to help you live out your full potential. Now, as we get started, I just want you guys to know that you're going to have a lot of questions, you're going to have a lot of thoughts, and I'm here to guide you through the whole thing. If there's anything that is missing, feel free to email me. That's Justus at I'mUnderTheInfluence.com, Justus at I'mUnderTheInfluence.com. That's I'mUnderTheInfluence.com. So let's get started. First off, thank you. You guys, I don't take this lightly. You guys are giving me some of your most important thing, which is your time. That is your biggest asset, and I don't take that lightly. So thank you. I know this is a funny little gift, but hey, it means the world to me that you're giving me your time to do this. I don't take it lightly at all. Just a little bit about me. My name is Justus Marimi. I'm a former pastor and a current small business owner. I've been married for 8 years to my beautiful wife, Stephanie. I have 3 amazing children, Daniel, Ezekiel, Moses. Yes, all boys. They are doing some damage, as all boys do. I'm a realtor by day, so most of my income actually comes through just being a realtor. I'm a buyer's agent on an amazing team here in Austin, Texas, and I do life and business coaching by night. So my passion, why I get up super early in the morning, 5 a.m., is because I get to talk with clients at 7 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock in the morning for 2 hours almost every single day about them being untapped. I love it. It's my passion, and I'm excited to be helping you guys. And so, like I said, I love seeing business leaders get their breakthrough. Every business leader at some point hits a plateau. And one of the things I hear is I just feel stuck. I don't know how to get out of this place. And so I help guide them through powerful questions, through giving them some different ideas. For some of our clients, tapping in on the spiritual side and helping them break through where they're at. It takes a team, and I get the privilege of walking them through this. But you didn't get on this webinar to hear all about me, okay? You got on this webinar to accomplish some things that you saw on a Facebook post. And so I'm going to share why most people are untapped. I'm going to share the why behind it. We're not going to spend a ton of time here, but I'm going to share why you might be untapped and how to achieve greater wealth, generosity, influence, and a positive self-identity. Your identity is your governor. If you have a poor identity, it's going to be hard to get where you feel like you need to go, and so it needs to be shaped. I want to give you some really particular tools to get through this. I think a lot of times what you'll see is on a webinar, it's the gateway to get you to another step, to get you to another step, to give you the secret sauce. I want to give my secret sauce away now in hopes that whether you work with me as a personal one-on-one coach or not, that you feel like I'm giving you some tools, some action steps that you can take right away, and you're going to get those today. We're going to discover what your superpowers are that are inside of you that need to come out, that are like the keys to greater wealth, greater generosity, positive self-identity, and influence. I want to give you some examples of some people who overcame personal obstacles to achieve personal greatness. For me, I know when I was just starting out, it was the stories of people who got where I wanted to go, who were dealing with the things that I'm dealing with now. And I hope to give you some examples of those so you know that you can get there. And then I lastly want to give you a clear roadmap to living a life untapped. I kind of touched on this earlier, but it's not my goal for you to come on this and go, Well, I guess I got to buy the next thing to really find out how to do this. I want to give you the same tools that I give a lot of my coaching clients, all of my coaching clients. I want to give them to you so that you can start taking action steps to living out your full potential. It is my firm belief that most of the problems that we're facing as a nation, that we're facing as a world, are just one leader away from being solved. I want to say that again. A lot of the problems that we're facing today are just one leader away from being solved. You will need to live a life consistently of being untapped and taking the road not most people want to take, but living a life untapped. Because you are actually made to solve problems for a group of people. And that's where your influence is. That's where your wealth is. That's where your generosity is. So before I get too excited, I want to ask you a question. Where do you feel untapped? Where is that place where you're going, I don't feel like I'm living out my full potential? Is it as a husband or a wife? Is it as in your finances? Is it spiritual? Is it mental? Where do you feel untapped? If you have a notebook with you, get it out. I want you to start writing down, here are the places that I feel untapped with my clients. Well, this is one of the first things we nail down. What is the result in your life that you are not experiencing that you feel like you should be experiencing now? Why do you feel that way? So where do you feel untapped? And another question would be, why do you feel untapped? These are really important. So you have to know yourself in order to lead yourself. So many people don't know themselves well enough that they don't know they're not in the job that they need to be. They're not in the relationship they need to be. They're not doing the things they need to be doing because all of their energy is going towards their weaknesses instead of focusing on their strengths. All of their energy is going to helping people who don't want to help themselves instead of helping people that will really appreciate their value. So where do you feel untapped? That's a really important question. But of course, we've got to come and start with my story because there was a time when I felt untapped. I was working as a pastor, working really hard, and I was actually working out of a lot of places of insecurity and fear. I felt like I was supposed to be somewhere where I wasn't, and I felt like I should be doing things that I wasn't. And so I burned out because I was working from a place of fear, thinking, man, if I don't get this much done, I'll never get where I need to go. So I need to work harder. I need to work longer. I was working long nights, longer than anyone needed me to work. I was working too long on things I didn't need to work too long on. Out of this fear, insecurity, the insecurity is what I hear so often in other people. It's, am I enough? And maybe at the root of all of your problems, there's a question that you're asking. There's a lie going in your head that's going, I'm not enough. Well, you are enough. And maybe you could skip over the mistakes that I've made. Well, that led me to burnout, and burnout led me to a counselor's office where she asked me one of the most important questions that I've been asked a long time. Justice, do you think maybe you're depressed? And this weight came off of me because I couldn't understand why it was so hard for me to wake up, why it was so hard for me to just send a single email. I would sit in my garage and just sit there for long periods of time and couldn't figure out why I felt stuck. And just knowing that maybe I was depressed helped me figure out some small things I could to get out. But one of the biggest things I had to face were the failures I made as a leader, not just as a pastor, but as a husband and just as a man. I had to face these things, face these failures. And it was after that that I got to really learn the different methods of how to get out of where I was to help achieve where I wanted to go. And that's why I'm sharing them with you. Maybe you're like one of my clients that I have who was a part owner in a business. And after a season, he felt like it was time for him to move on. But then he didn't know what to do with himself. He had these passions, he had these desires, but he'd spent all of his time working on this business. And after that business was done, after he sold his portion of the business, now he's in a position where he has all the time, but he doesn't know what to do. He wants to make more money. He wants to have greater influence. He wants to serve a greater community. What does he do? Well, now he's pulling in six figures as a photographer, and he's doing an incredible job. And so it's through discovering what are my superpowers, what gets me from point A to point B, and how do I focus on them and bring ridiculous value. We're going to touch on all of this later. I'm getting fired up. But there's other people who have faced these problems as well. We think about Oprah Winfrey, physically abused at up to age 9, ran away from home at age 13, pregnant at 14, and then miscarried that child. Think of all the trauma that she's experienced. But she has a household name now. We all know who Oprah is. If we ever in a room and we said, man, I just love Oprah, and someone said, who's Oprah? We'd be shocked. How did she get there? What did she do? Or maybe it's Walt Disney filed for bankruptcy 7 times, nervous breakdown after creating Mickey Mouse. His animators went on strike during World War II that led to him going into $4 million in debt. And at the opening of something he had imagined and dreamed and had the greatest hopes for, Disneyland, which we all know today, was called Black Sunday. That opening was called Black Sunday because the plumbing wasn't working well, and people wanted to get into Disneyland so bad that they forged tickets and got in. We all know now, if we see that Disney logo, that whatever it represents is going to bring joy and happiness. What got him there? Maybe it's Viktor Frankl, Australian neurologist. He was imprisoned at several concentration camps by Nazis, including Auschwitz. Not only that, his wife and family were killed by Nazis. Imagine the loss. Imagine the struggle. But he went on to write one of the best-selling books of all time, Man's Search for Meaning. Over 10 million copies, and it was translated into 24 languages. We can't forget Abraham Lincoln, failed at business, wife died, nervous breakdown in 1836. He ran for 7 different positions in government, all of which he was defeated in. He went on to become one of the greatest presidents of our time. Harriet Tubman, born a slave, age 12, suffered head trauma from a slave owner. Husband remarried without her knowledge, could you imagine? And she struggled with narcolepsy. Guys, these people found a way to keep going, to come back from trauma, to come back from loss, to rewrite their script, to have unbelievable influence. They came into greater amounts of wealth. They had a positive self-identity that they had to work on. So how did they get there? I really do believe in this quote. I think it's amazing. Successful people have fear. Successful people have doubts, and successful people have worries. They just don't let these feelings stop them. It's T. Harv Eker. And I want to believe that if you're on this call, that you're going, man, that's me. Because guys, in order for us to see the change that we want to see in the world, you have got to live a life untapped. Living out your full potential. Here's the cost. You can go through life, have a great life, have a home, kids, car, whatever you call it. But inside of you, you will know I didn't live my life fully. People didn't get to experience the things in my life that I wanted to give away. Maybe you wanted to start a charity to help underprivileged children. Maybe you wanted to start a company that taught the basics of financial wealth to groups that have never had it before. Maybe you wanted to start a billion-dollar company that was going to employ tons of people and create lives for people that they could never have imagined. But because you just decided to go through life as is, other people are paying the cost. But the most important thing is, so are you. So it's my dream, whether you end up working with me, going through one of my mastermind groups, or we just do one-on-one coaching, whether or not you do that, my goal is that you would go on and live a life untapped. So where do we start? I want to give you the tools. I graduated high school with a 2.6. I graduated college with a 2.1. What does that mean? Why are you sharing that with us? I have a huge value for practicals. I don't do well with philosophies and equations. I need real practicals like, Justice, what do we do? So here we go. Are you ready? If you've stayed on this webinar to this point, here come the tools. First, you got to change your mind. My number one thing that I do with coaches that allow them to really get to the next level, to get unstuck, to get their breakthrough, is I ask powerful questions so that we can get better answers. I do not settle for I don't know. So here are the questions that I want to ask you right now. What do you do every morning to take control of your beliefs? What are your declarations, your affirmations? Every one of my clients, when they go through our Untapped or Unleashed program, they are asked to create declarations that they say every morning to rearrange their identity. Who do you believe that you are? Do you believe that you are enough? What happens to the room you walk into? Guys, you have to start believing the best about yourself without ignoring your weaknesses. What do I mean by that? Let's focus on your strengths. I hope that you have the humility to know that, guess what? You have weaknesses. We know that. But overanalyzing them and trying to get to the root to every one of them is taking up time that could be used to change the world, which is what you're made for. I've created something called the Under the Influence morning routine. It's an unbelievable tool that I give away that helps people get their mornings in order so that they are giving themselves the best opportunity to really dominate the day. So you have to change your mind. Ask better questions, get better answers. All right, the next thing is we need to create wealth with purpose. What's motivating the need? Here's what I mean. If all you want to do is get rich to get rich, you're going to fall short. The point and the focus of wealth is to bring freedom for other people. There has to be a need, whether it's freedom for your family. Maybe your family has always lived in poverty and you're going, I want to create wealth for my family so they don't always live in poverty. I get that. There has to be a motivation behind the money. The clients that I coach that do well and the clients that I coach that don't do well have one thing that's different. One person had a why that came to the root of what they were existing for. There has to be motivation behind the money. So ask why 7 times. What does that look like? All right, well, I want to make $1 billion. Why? Because I want to have more money. Why? Because I never had a lot of money growing up and I hated it. Why? I was made fun of. I couldn't go on the field trips with the rest of the class. I was alone a lot. Why? Because I don't want a single person to experience the pain of poverty ever. So I want to create wealth that I can bring to the rest of the world, whether it's through jobs, through my generosity. That's why. Then that right there is what we work with whenever we're coming up with a plan for creating wealth. It's that right there. So here's the next question. What would X amount of dollars do for the people you care about? How big is the problem that you plan on solving? Who needs the value that you plan on providing? All right. So this is stuff that we want to work through with everybody. What needs? Who needs the value that you plan on providing? Who is it? When I'm working with my clients, I tend to ask them this question: who is in that room? When you close your eyes and you go about thinking about what your wealth is doing, who are the people that you see it's benefiting? These are the people that you were created to help. That's a real belief of mine. So who are they? Who needs this? Discover your wealth trifecta. That's the combination of your gifts, your passions, and the problems that you solve. So what are your superpowers? You need to have taken some kind of personality test. I make all of my clients go through the Strengths Finders. What are you undeniably passionate about? You would talk about it for free. What are your core experiences? Okay, what are your core experiences? Well, like, what experiences have you gone through that other people haven't, that have set you up to be, whether it's an expert or just a problem solver in this area? What problem can you solve for a set dollar amount repeatedly? If you're going to create wealth, it's that you're solving a problem that's big enough that enough people have the issue that you can come in and solve. What is that? What is the future value you can add to other people or businesses? What is the future value you can add to other people or businesses? I think the bigger the value or the more people that need it, the greater wealth you're going to create. So think of Amazon. The convenience that they add for everyone is why they're so big. It was a big enough need. We want products that we don't have to go drive and get. We want to know that if we don't like it, the return is super simple. And we want to know that we can get it within 2 days. It's super convenient. Who needs that problem solved? Everyone. There we have it. There was a convenience created. There's a value added that enough people could benefit from. So discover your wealth trifecta: your gifts, passions, problems. Okay? Maximize the influence you already have. Discover, serve, ask. It goes in that order. How many people in your network know about your passions, your gifts, and your problems you can solve for others? So join a networking community or create one with one person, bringing ridiculous value consistently. Think about that. When you get in there, do not think about what you can take. Think about what you can give. Solve problems, serve people, ask for help. It's that easy. I know you're going, well, Justice, who? You'll figure it out. You're smart enough. Solve problems, serve people, ask for help. Be a needs radar, that you're always looking for the needs in the community. What is that need? How can I solve it? Does that come in line with what I provide, the value I provide? I can solve it. Reach out to the leaders. Say, hey, I can solve this problem. Who needs this help? They will connect you. Then use the power planner, which I'm going to provide on this. So, be the go giver. Live a life of generosity. Start giving now. I don't care if you're making $20,000 a year, give away $2 a month. But you don't just have to give away your finances. You can give away your time, your finances, or even just your talent. I know when I was a pastor at a church, I loved that a certified financial planner wanted to help on our finance team. What was he giving? He was giving his talent and he was giving his time. He didn't have to give any money. We needed his talent. Okay? Give with no expectations in return, knowing that those will come. You solve enough problems for enough people, your value in the network will go up and you will be asked how much you charge. Then the last part. All right? Follow up. Follow up on the quality of the donation. Meaning, if you gave your talent, come back and say, hey, how good of a job did I do on that? Was everything okay? How did it end up going? Is there anything else you need from me? Hey, I volunteered at the pet hospital. Hey guys, was there anything I could have done better? I'd love to come back and donate some more time. Follow up on the quality of the donation. Be the go-giver, not the go-getter. Also a wonderful book. All right? So, a few tools. If you go to Under the Influence, I'm Under the Influence. So it's not I am, it's I am, undertheinfluence.com. And go to the tools, you'll see the wealth trifecta. So, you need to have a specific name and financial goal. I told you guys I was going to be giving you some really specific tools. These are the tools. I want you to use them. What is your specific financial goal? Okay, so the wealth trifecta is your strengths, your gifts, your core passions, and the problems you solve. So put in there, my top 5 strengths are this. Okay, my core passions are blank, 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 blank. The problems I solve are blank, blank, blank. Through hard work, determination, humility, I can create wealth by fill it in. It's a super simple tool. You should pick it up. All right, then the power planner. All of the people in my business mastermind, they fill this out every week and get it back to me. I can go into the details, but you're having fraud conversations. That's asking people about their finance, their family, what they're doing for fun, recreation, occupation, and goals. All of this was taken out of the 7 Levels of Communication, which is a wonderful book. I just created this from that. And then you want to create some social videos. So on your social videos, how many videos went out? You want, and the 1,000 is more about how many views. Then you want to create a meet and eat. You want to have 3 of those a week with people where you're asking them how you can help them, and then presentations. Those are 3 sales presentations a week where you're actually giving them a proposal of some sort of how you can solve a problem. All right? So if you're still on this call, I want to encourage you and invite you. If you're going, Justice, these are great, the planners, this is awesome, but Justice, I need more. I need someone to help me arrange my identity and get it in place. I need someone that's going to help me think through how I can create wealth and generosity. I need someone that's going to help me create greater influence. I want more influence. I want a greater platform. I would encourage you to apply. Not everyone will get in, but I would encourage you to apply. Some of the people I get on the phone with, I let them know, hey, my coaching is not going to be the best thing for you. I do not have all the time in the world. I told you by day I'm a realtor, so I only have so many mornings. And I want to save those mornings for people that are ready to go after it. So if you are someone that's going to go after it, then I would really encourage you to apply right now. Apply right now. It's something that is really important. If you really believe that this thing that's in you needs to get out and you need to go out and accomplish it, or maybe you're already doing it and you've plateaued, I want to encourage you to apply right now. If you're still on this call, then that means that there's something in you going, I need more. And I know a question you might be asking, well, Justice, how much is it? What does it look like? Every single person I coach, I tailor my coaching for. I do not trade time for money, right? So I'm saying, hey, where I am coming in and helping you, I'm coming to bring a result. You're paying me to help you get a result. All right, so for every person, it's different. But yeah, I'd encourage you, undertheinfluence.com. I'm undertheinfluence.com. And go to the tools tab, and you'll see all that stuff there. Well, guys, again, I just want to say thank you. I hope this time has been beneficial for you. If you have any questions at all, you can reach me, Justus, Justus, at I'mUnderTheInfluence.com, or follow me on Instagram. That's Justus Motivates, Justus Motivates. Guys, this has been a pleasure, and I hope that you guys continue, there I am, to just get after it. Continue to get after it. I believe in you. I believe you're supposed to live a life untapped. Just get started. Take some action steps now. You guys were made for it. I hope this has been beneficial for you. Have an awesome day. I'll talk to you